Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome into Talkin' Trains. Happy to see everybody out there. Happy to be here with you. And excited to get some work done tonight. Excited to have some goodies to unbox from a couple of fun places here. And be able to talk to all of you out there as we do it. So welcome in. So tonight we're going to be working on the same Alcos as last week. One of these boxes contains a whole bunch of stuff for the Livonia, Avon, and Lakeville unit. And then we also have some ditch lights that are ready to install on the Mohawk, Adirondack, and Northern unit. And then I think I've just put on what is hopefully the final coat of Tester's Clear Part Cement in order to build up the number boards for it. So we should be hopefully very soon ready to do the number boards on that as well. However, not quite going to be ready to do that tonight. So it'll be just a little bit longer before we're ready to do that. Realized I had a bag of loose parts out that I don't want to lose. But so we've got a couple of different things to unbox tonight, all related to the locomotives that we're working on. And let's see, which one do we start with? I think we'll start with this one. This is a fun one because there's more to explain with it, and some exciting stuff to explain with it as well. And some of you that are familiar will already know what this is just based off of what we're looking at here. A dum-dum and a card here for Scale Sound Systems, the speaker manufacturer. Now, JT, pretty excitingly, is going to be a part of a roundtable next Thursday for NERX, the Northeast Region's virtual convention that happens every March. And JT is going to be a panelist for the roundtable on immersive model railroading, technology that makes your model railroad more immersive. And that'll air on Thursday night, and I'll actually be the host of that night of the streams, and our good friend Dennis Colucci will be the host on Monday night. So with that said, keep in mind, Dennis and I will not be streaming normally on Monday night. However, Dennis will in fact be live and available to watch on YouTube on the NMRA YouTube channel. NERX is a completely free program for anybody. You do not have to be an NMRA member to participate. There are giveaways from really cool sponsors every single night of the event, and it runs next Monday, which is let me pull up the calendar here. Next Monday, the 16th, through next Thursday, the 19th. And again, Dennis is going to be hosting on Monday, and I will be anchoring the event on Thursday night. So pretty exciting stuff. Be sure to mark your calendars and tune in over on the NMRA YouTube channel next week on Monday, and preferably on Thursday, or preferably Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well. Okay, next box though, now that we've finished our sidebar about NERX, is one from our good buddy Chris over at Wallace Locomotive Works, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff necessary for the LANL 425 build, but also has something pretty exciting in here that I worked with Chris on that I want to share with you guys, which should be pretty cool. Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot I ordered a crap ton of stuff. Don't tell my wife. All right, so I got some compressed oxygen cylinders. Here, let me zoom you guys in so you can actually see this stuff. So I got some compressed oxygen cylinders in white and green for the shop build. I got some tabletop drill presses for the Finger Lakes shop. I got some pallets that are pre-painted, which is pretty cool, to go outside the shop with some stuff on them. And the rest of this stuff is all locomotive related. These are the new headlight housings for LANL 425. I'll save this one for last because that's pretty exciting. I want to share it with you guys. That's some backup housings in case those ones don't fit right. These are ditch lights for 425, and then these are ditch lights for the other two locomotives that I'm going to be working on here coming up as well. And then these are the most exciting of the ditch light housings that I picked up because I actually worked with Chris in order to get these designed. These are for a Morrison Knudsen SD40 M-2, which is a rebuilt SD45. And they have a really unique ditch light housing on them. They're deck mounted, but the corners of each of the ditch lights is kind of chamfered, which is pretty cool. And Chris didn't have that in his catalog yet when I reached out to him. So I said, hey, why don't we get that in your catalog? So because I suggested that, he did send those out to me complimentary, which I really appreciate. He does that for anybody that gets a product that he deems worthy of being in the catalog. You know, he gets a lot of suggestions, and he has to take some of them with a grain of salt. But yeah, pretty exciting stuff as far as that's concerned. And we will be kind of working with one set of these tonight, which is the twin beam sealed headlights. And that's what we're using, right? Yes. This is what we're using for the LANL 425 build, which we're going to dive a little bit deeper into on tonight's stream, which will be pretty fun. All right, so let me stop in and say hi to everybody. It looks like we had Brandon here first, threatening to get a ticket for watching me while he's commuting home. Adam was here right after. Welcome in, Adam. Garrett's here. Welcome in, Garrett. Chambersburg and Western's here. Welcome in. Scott's here. Sean's here. Scott Winchester and Western's here. Welcome in, Scott. I haven't seen you in a little bit. I'm glad you could make it. Chris is here. Jeffrey's here. Bill's here. Welcome in. Bonu's here. Steve's here. Welcome in, everybody. Happy to have you in tonight's stream and excited to get down to business with you guys. I am going to quickly, because I forgot about it, pull up a reference photo that I need for tonight's work. You guys won't be able to see it, but it's important that I have it just so that I can see that I haven't gone too far with everything that I'm doing tonight. Yeah, Scott, happy you could be here as well. Life does get busy, that's for sure. I was looking at my calendar the other day and realized I've got pretty much something on my calendar every weekend until the end of April at this point. So, I feel ya. All right. Where is the picture I want? Scrolled back too far. Sorry, guys. Here we go. I think that's the one I want. I wish I could show this to you guys because the reference photo I'm using, just to make sure I don't go too far with filing down where the headlight is going to go on this cab. Also has Mr. Dennis Colucci thoroughly enjoying himself a New Haven 425 in it. I'll have to see if I can get that out on Discord or something. Okay. All right. So the plan here is that this housing right here needs to go away, and we need to file it down flat with the rest of the cab so that we can put in the new housing, which honestly I should probably get primed tonight and then can get painted with the rest of the cab because there'll need to be some touch-up done. So let's see here. What do I want to do first? I think what I want to do first is actually get that primed. And of course, I didn't think to get my paint booth camera set up beforehand. So let me see if I can get that done really quickly. Uh-oh. I don't know if it's gonna work. It's dead, of course. All right, well, I'll put it on a charger and then maybe we'll circle back to paint booth cam a little later. There's a super secret project in the paint booth anyway. It's a good thing I didn't just turn it on. There would have been a spoiler for somebody I'm secretly working on something for in the chat. Now, for some reason, Brandon and Banu both thought my paint booth was super far away from my workbench, and I don't know why that was, but it is, for the record, just completely to the, 3 feet to the right of me when I'm sitting at my workbench. So, for what that's worth. So the challenge with these headlights, and the reason I got a different style as that's very similar as backup, is that they have these two like horizontal bars that there's no shot you guys are going to be able to see them. But if you look at if you look up this listing on Wallace Locomotive Works, Wallex 188, you can understand what I'm seeing. And I'm not convinced I'm going to be able to sneak a headlight lens in between them, so that's why I got the backup ones, and we'll see how everything goes. But yeah, let's see. It's like finding out they didn't film sitcoms in a real house. That's funny. Although interestingly, both The Office and Scrubs were filmed in real locations to fit. Scrubs was filmed in an old hospital, and then The Office was filmed in an actual office building, which is kind of cool. I'm a big fan of sitcoms, so. All right, so we got the mobile workbench cam firing up now. Oh, nope, I don't want to do that. And let's just see if we're going to be able to do this. Got to get these on a piece of double-sided stick tape anyway, while I'm waiting for this. work with me here. Come on. Oh, sure. Now you pop up. Oh boy, we're getting some riveting content tonight, aren't we? Come on, man. Man, I could have had everything primed and done already. Oh, sorry, guys. No. All right, well, I'll circle back to that in a few minutes. In the meantime, let's just get everything ready to go here. Much action, such thrilling. Yep, exactly. Yep. Sorry, Adam. Not filmed on a real starship, unfortunately. Oh boy. All right. So I need this, and I'm gonna prime the backup housing as well at the same time, just to be safe. Come on. Okay, there's the backup. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it'll be any easier to see now, but you may be able to see that there's these two kind of metal bars tooled into this design that I just kind of have low expectations that those are gonna allow a lens to slip behind them, but that is the exact style that's on the locomotive. So if it's possible to do it that way, then that's the way I would like to do it. Let's see if this is going to work any better. Hey, there's Dennis. Welcome in, my friend. Okay. That's enough fiddling around. I'm just gonna get these primed, get this done with, so that I can move on. right. Okay, so those are done, and next order of business is going to be to get the housings completely, the existing housing completely filed down. And yeah, Dennis, we are working on your favorite of the Livonia, Avon, and Lakeville locomotives. And anybody who doesn't know Dennis, he loves the New Haven, and LANL 425 is the last of the C425s in existence that New Haven bought new. And we are changing the appearance of this thing to better match the prototype. I won't say that it's spot on, but it's a pretty good, it'll be a pretty good representation by the time I'm done. So pretty exciting stuff. So let me get you guys super zoomed here, because otherwise you're not going to see a single thing that we're working on, because everything's so small. So the first thing I got to do is the Atlas tooling is really funky. They had a roof-mounted horn right here. That's where what that gray spot is, and because of it, the molding is not quite a flush roof. So the first thing I'm going to do as I'm filing is try to get rid of the part of the roof line that's not quite flush, so that when we come back to touch up the paint after we file down the housing there and get the new one installed, I can also just touch up that area as well. Just trying to be as gentle as I can. If I take off paint, that's fine. What I don't want to do is take off any excessive plastic. So after every stroke with the file, I'm kind of just feeling with my hand to make sure that I don't go too far. Okay, pretty happy with that. Okay, next order of business, this whole front of the light housing needs to come off. And it's going to be much the same situation where I'm just going to start going to town. You know, it usually doesn't take a ton of work to get these taken off. So hey, welcome in, Ray. Greetings from Victor. Awesome. Man, your executive producer messaged me today asking for some help with a locomotive build he's working on. And one of the references I wanted to be able to send to him was a Livonia, Avon, and Lakeville locomotive. I could have just told him to have you head on down to Lakeville and get some drone reference shots for him. But anyway, let's not wait as long as we did last week just to check in. What's everybody else got on their workbench? I'd love to know what you're working on. I know a few people here locally picked up some pretty cool projects, so I'm excited to hear what everybody's working on. I think we've got that pretty well filed down already. That went fast. Nice. Nothing I can do for him yet. All right. That all flush. I think there's a little bit of the old housing just on the bottom of this thing still left. Garrett's working on FGOK 203. That's a really exciting project for me. Just would love to see that that locomotive done, or not that locomotive, that caboose done. It's a pretty cool caboose, bay window. I think it's originally a B&O caboose, but is now currently in New York Central Jade Green, which is pretty cool. Chambersburg and Westerns working on sizing up some decal sheets still. That's cool. Adam's working on something for Heath. Oh man, exciting. Scott's trying not to build break fine detail parts. Yeah, tell me about it, Scott. Aren't we all? Oh man, full of fun stuff for Paul. 2 GEs, a Finger Lakes caboose. I mean, what more could a guy ask for, you know? Chris, welcome in. Ben, welcome in. That's cool, Jeffrey. Excited to see how your LANL 425 ends up working out. Should be pretty cool. Oh man, yeah, if it was going to be a little bit warmer, it would have been a good day to do it from the rail fanning platform, Ray. Of course, it's supposed to cool down tomorrow. Bummer. My wife's birthday is Thursday, and I was hoping it was going to be warm enough that we would be tempted to take a PTO day, but no such luck there, unfortunately. Awesome, Scott. Can't wait to see how that works out. B&O I-18. Okay, cool, Garrett. All right, so we've got that filed down. Let's see, what's the next order of business? Right, we gotta get and actually I gotta just double check that this is in fact the front headlight. And then if it is, it's time to get the lenses filed down off of it. Okay. Ooh, and I'm glad I double checked because I don't know that actually is the front. That may be the rear. Hey Bucky, welcome in. Happy to have you. Welcome to the growing PA contingent of model railroaders watching the stream. Okay, maybe that is the right housing. Why is it not fitting in there? Nothing seems to want to fit in there now. Weird. Yeah, it is sad that it's going back to winter. I did get my sticker today, Ray. I almost, I assumed what it was, and I almost left it for the mail call in the video, but I didn't just because I wasn't entirely sure what it was, but I should have left it for the video. I can't believe I've now been, so the sticker Ray's referring to is the sticker that gets sent out annually for anybody that's a Patreon member of the Around the Layout podcast. And I can't believe that's now my 3rd sticker, I think. I should have brought it down and put it on the layout, or on the sticker wall. Okay, why does that not want to fit in there now? That is so strange. So it must be this one that's actually the forward. But I'm just trying to verify that before I file it down. I've got to file the lenses off of whichever one actually, in fact, is the forward-facing light housing. Because obviously when we're going, there we go, that is definitely it. When we're going to the horizontal positioned headlight, obviously we can't use the Atlas factory housings, or the factory lenses. So I've got to file those down off of the light bar so that we can use individual lenses with LEDs on it. Wow, look at USPS having their stuff together. That's pretty cool. Ray, 2 weeks ago, I got this in the mail. This was the Rolling Road from AO. And I was pretty impressed with how fast that got here on the subject of quick mail. I ordered that on Friday and I had it on a Monday, which was pretty incredible. So he shipped it out same day, which is great. And then, you know, USPS actually had their stuff together enough to get that to me over the weekend. So, oh, of course, Mr. C says doesn't get his today. So now, of course, I got this housing back in just to verify that it was right, and it won't come back out very smoothly. Why would it? There we go, now it's moving. All right. So I don't think I need to be quite as gentle here if my chisel bit X-Acto is narrow enough. Nope, it's not. But I can still kind of use it to get started. So the plan here will be to get the lenses out of the way. These will get cut down flush. Then I need to file in a channel for wires to kind of run through for the new number, or the new headlights. And after that, I will also need to get this part of the housing painted black so that I don't get any bleed through from the number boards LED, which will be going back in. It'll be pretty cool. I don't normally bother to do this sort of thing on stock Atlas units. So in that case, the LEDs stay tied, there's just a single LED to run the headlights and the number boards in this one, piece of light board. But this one will actually have individual number boards, functioning individual front number boards, which will be pretty cool. Okay, so that part's good. I need to figure out now, I think I want to run it along the roof line, which will be this side. And I also need to get that off. I marked this as F, even though it's not actually the forward housing. Now it's obvious which one is the forward housing because I took the lenses off the front of it. Okay, so this is the top side. What I want to do is get a good enough channel going in the top that I can run the LEDs. Actually, do I want to run the LEDs? Oh, what the heck. What I think I'll do is actually make a channel on both sides so that I can decide which way I want to run them after I've got the housing back in the locomotive. Either way, this isn't going to be visible, so I should be able to get away with doing it on both sides and then deciding later. This is not a modification that I've done previously to know, which is going to be easier. My preference would be to get them up and out of the way on the top side of the light bar, but if that's going to prove too difficult, I'd rather have a channel on the bottom side as well, just so that as I'm running things, I can make sure nothing gets pinched. Looking pretty good there. Let's see if I can file it in just a little bit deeper. Chris, welcome in. Yeah, that's exciting, Dennis. Especially since my stuff is included with your stuff. I think I'm happy with that channel mostly. I think what I really need to do though is just kind of get the entire front part of the housing filed down to really make sure that nothing pinches. So I'll use a round file for that. None, Chris, none. So far, I should knock on wood. Watch, I'm doing all this prep work to make sure that my wiring doesn't pinch, and I'm still going to end up with a blown LED. What do you want to bet? Ever the optimist, right? Yeah, that'll be exciting, Garrett. Okay. Get rid of the 90 going up into that top channel, and that one will be good. All right, happy there. And then, in case I need it, the bottom channel, I'm gonna do this straight back. Ted, welcome in. Happy to see you. I gotta try to make a Saturday Night Live weathering stream again here soon. I've had to miss the last few, but I've seen the projects that are happening. They all seem pretty darn cool. It was an 86-foot boxcar this week, Ted, I think. If anybody's ever looking for something fun to stream on Saturday night, make sure you tune into Ted. Once I'm done filing in these channels, I'm going to have to touch up the paint on the light boards, or the number boards themselves, because this is not quite, this is doing a little bit of a number on them. Okay, got a pretty good channel going now. I think the last thing I want to do is just kind of widen out the channel on the front, just to make sure that it's going to be good for that wider style of headlight housing that's going on. Yeah, I hope that went well, Dennis. Unfortunately, I was so busy this past weekend that I didn't get to tune in. But the reason I was so busy is a pretty exciting one. So you guys can be on the lookout for more news on that. Personally exciting things, got nothing to do with the hobby, but there's exciting news to come, hopefully this week sometime, regarding what I was doing all weekend. Saturday, though, I did have the chance to go film a layout that's coming down locally that is actually subtly very well known layout. The Rhonda Mountain West Shore, which is a local layout here. It's a freelance railroad that a lot of people have seen, but may not realize that they've seen. It was actually, the photos of that layout are used very prominently in a lot of NCE advertisements. There's a great picture of Ron and his wife in front of this hand-built trestle. No, Ted, not quite there yet. But there is exciting news to come on Wednesday, or well, there's exciting news to come. We'll see when I post about it, but there's definitely exciting stuff happening. But yeah, I filmed a layout tour of the Rhonda Mountain West Shore, which is just a gorgeous layout in the Rochester area that's unfortunately set to come down. Unfortunately, you know, the owner, Ron Stacy, is is ready to move into a smaller apartment and get rid of the big house, and that means that the layout's got to come down. He's not done being a model railroader. He's got plans to build a smaller switching layout in his apartment, but unfortunately that layout itself did need to come down. And you know, it's very well beloved by the Rochester model railroading community. There was, you know, a few guys there while I was filming that you know, expressed very intently how much they're gonna miss that layout. I unfortunately had not gotten a chance to see that layout prior to Saturday, and boy am I glad that Nancy and Ron gave me the opportunity to document that, because it was a joy just to be able to see it. And now, thankfully, we've got it set. I filmed a layout tour, and it'll be airing next year as a part of NERX, because we're a little too far along with NERX this year to have it included this year, but I'll be able to get a copy of it prior to that over to Ron and Nancy to have, and it'll be nice to have that thoroughly documented as it was right before teardown for them, which I really appreciate. But I did get the chance to take some still images as well, which I'm really kind of starting to learn, or I'm really still learning model railroad photography. It's a completely different beast than railfan photography. So I had fun trying to do that. That layout made it very apparent that I need to invest in better studio lighting for those sorts of shoots moving forward. So I'm excited to kind of dive down that rabbit hole at some point. Studio lighting's not cheap though, so. All right, let me get these number boards touched up. Age does in fact happen to us all. Absolutely, Dennis. So I kind of appreciate what Ed O'Rourke has done with his layout in Syracuse. I'm looking forward to seeing it, because he's tried to future-proof his layout as much as possible for him and you know, friends in model railroading. I think he's got an elevator that goes up to it, or you know, has intentions of putting one in, and then the whole thing is at sitting height. You operate from wheelie chairs, or you know, if there is somebody that's handicapped, they can operate from a wheelchair, which is really cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing that as part of Op Till You Drop here coming up in April. Yeah, unfortunately I don't know that was logistically possible to have it open during the RPM, but yeah. Okay, so we've got the white touch-up paint going on there. Hopefully, let's see if my primer's dry enough on the housings here that we can start to mess around with that. I think it is. So let's see, I've got my Details West lenses that I need. Of course, I just put these away and I need them still, so I don't know why I put them away. See you, Bill. Happy to have you for the time we did, and have a safe trip into the city tomorrow morning. Cool, he does have an elevator. Very nice. All right, so this is the housing that's prototypically accurate, but I am not confident I'm gonna get a lens into. So I'm gonna try that first, but like I said, I don't know if I'm slipping a lens by that or not. They look really cool. I wish I could get it by there. At bare minimum, what I may end up doing is just filing out the little ribs that are in there in order to use this set. Yeah, absolutely, Dennis. And hopefully we're continuing the streak of not losing clear parts. Fingers crossed on that one. Otherwise, I won't hear the end of it from Chris, so. Don't need that glue yet, but good to have it out and ready. Okay, tweezers. Now, if I'm gonna lose one, this is gonna be the part where I do. Just trying to finagle this into the housing. This is also going to be really riveting content for you guys, as I think this lens is far too small to see, let alone the housing itself. Nope, it's not going to fit in there. All right, so let me try this first. I'm going to try to just remove the two bars because ultimately the hood being there is still better than nothing. So I'm going to try to just file those out of the housing first. Okay. And then actually, I don't need to glue anything into it just yet. I want to get this housing on the locomotive before I'm gluing in headlights. Because there's going to be a lot of touch-up paint that needs to happen. So let's test fit that lens one more time. Make sure it fits, and then start finagling with things on the locomotive itself. I don't think I quite got it out of there. Well, I try my best. My hands aren't exactly the steadiest either, but I'm thankful to at least have enough to be able to do this sort of thing. All right, how's that lens looking there? Oh! Okay, we're gonna use the other ones because I just busted the whole hood off the lens. So we'll try the other one. No harm, no foul. Okay, there it is. I thought I lost the lens, but I didn't. I'm gonna store that on a piece of double-sided stick tape so I don't lose it now. All right, so here's the deal with this. I need to position this on the locomotive and make sure that I like the fit, which right now I hate the fit. Uh-oh. Is that gonna work okay? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay. All right. So now what I need to do is first get that glued on, and then I need to be able to backfill the old lens hole with a little bit of probably super glue just to get it filled in. And then I have the new mount for the horn to put on as well. Staring at the wall. That's awesome. It's My cat's grateful don't do that, especially in the house I live in, which, you know, has been owned by 3 generations of my family. I would be very freaked out if there was ghosts in this house, because it'd be my relatives. Okay, I am going to get a little bit of glue on this, the back of this, and then get it glued on, and then we'll start to worry about the rest of it. Okay, I know I squeezed a little bit of glue onto this, but I squeeze glue onto this so frequently that I can't tell where I squeezed it on. Oh boy. Didn't want to do it that way. Pull up my reference photo before I secure this in the final place. Okay. It's pretty much right down at the bottom. Right in between the 2 number boards. Oop. Come on. Okay, that's right where that needs to be, and then I just need to fill in the old hole, which maybe you can see a little bit better now, so that I can get it smoothed down and you know, ready for paint, even though it's not going to be painted right away. But I should be able to kind of just bridge that gap with a little bit of super glue, and then come back in with the file in order to clean it all up. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to set that off to the side now. I do need to do beeping and bopping. Uh-oh. Am I still beeping and booping? I'm not showing that I dropped any frames or anything. Well, let me know if I'm still beeping and booping. Oops. Remembered I got a little bit of detail part prep to do for the horn as well, so I'm gonna hopefully get that done tonight as well. Oh, just the music? Yeah, there's usually some beep boop music in there. Okay. Just the music. That's good news. Let me know if it's too loud or something. I don't know if it's too loud or what. All right, so first thing I need to do is remove the bell off of this stanchion, or off of this mounting plate, which hopefully I can just do with a pair of nippers. Cleanly, please. Oh dear, that was not cleanly. Ooh, this does not want to come off. I don't want to break this. Really counting on using it. Finer tipped ones are kind of terrible. Woo, there it goes. That was molded on there pretty good. All right, let me try to clean this up with a file a little bit. Maybe, maybe not. It's funky because this has got to go on upside down from what it was on the old locomotive that it was on in order to mount this. So the side that I'm filing on really needs to be clean. Not that you'll really be able to see much other than the horn itself, but did I get your did you get my envelope today? No, I didn't. I didn't know that there was an envelope sent my way. That's exciting. I got Ray's envelope today and some junk mail. See if I've got a narrower flat file to be able to really get this to the place where I want it. Oh, this one might work. Yes. Okay. Oh, so Joey was here earlier, and I apologize. I don't think I said hi to him. Hopefully he's still out there, but I don't know if he is. But something fun that we came up with towards the end of last week, the Circa rebuild decal sheet got revised. We added another locomotive to it that I kind of thought of after the fact. So we added an SD70M rebuild to our decal sheet, and because everything's got a S designation on it, the SD70M becomes the SD70 MAS, or as we jokingly like to call it, the SD70 MAS. And for those of you who don't know, MAS is more in Spanish, and also the Taco Bell slogan is Live Mas. So we've been developing plenty of memes surrounding that, like, you know, Circa rebuild, let your SD70M live Mas, or live SD70 Mas. Those sorts of things. Having fun with that, and looking forward to seeing the first person to actually do an SD70M rebuild. I don't know whether or not it'll be myself or, you know, somebody else within Circa, but it'll be fun to do that and hopefully get some good photos of it in order to create a Taco Bell style advert for Circa. Yeah, the running joke has been that an SD70 MOS rebuild for Circa comes standard with upgraded electronics, an upgraded Taco Bell sounding bell, and most importantly, and this is critical, I can't stress it enough, an upgraded crew bathroom on the locomotive. Well, if you want to do a Dash 2, you can absolutely do a Dash 2, Brandon. We didn't put Dash 2 on the sheet, but there are other Dash 2s on the sheet, so you could steal the Dash 2 from a different part of the sheet and tack it onto the end of the SD70 MOS. I actually was starting to get tempted. I know Florida East Coast had a pair of SD70M-2s that they got rid of pretty quickly, and I was really tempted to look into one of those for my own railroad, but the time frame just does not work out for me. In 05. And quite frankly, I don't want to model anything other than 05, so. So right now I'm basically, because I can't be bothered to spray this with isopropyl, just filing down all of the orange paint off of it. Probably should have just dunked it in isopropyl, but that's far too much work. I think that ought to work okay. All right, next order of business is kind of dry fitting on the horn here. So this is an all bells forward P3. Instead of like yeah. Yeah, that'll be cool, Brandon. Stanchion. Let's see how much I'm gonna need to drill out. Oh wow, that's almost, there's one hole in this already, and it's almost already the right size for the horn. So I just gotta drill it out a little bit. Oh, that's cool, Dennis. Whole new meaning to upper decker. All right. What are the odds I've got the right size drill bit on here already? Slim to none. Slim to none. Small. There we go, that's just right. All right. Next order of business is making sure that this fits in there okay, and then this can get mounted right on the locomotive as is. And then the horn has to get painted separately because the horn is going to be silver, whereas the stanchion needs to be black. Still not quite the right size. I might need to go up the size a little bit. I hope Banu finished his chicken too. Banu's asleep. Oh dear. Okay, hopefully that's going to be big enough for the horn now. This is an automated Banu message. Please leave a message after the beep. There we go. Fits like a glove. So that's the general idea of the horn layout here, is that it's going to mount on this little stanchion, and then that's going to be mounted onto the cab itself. So you can kind of see it there. So yeah, the horn needs to get primed. Actually, technically both of them probably should get primed, but yeah. Banu loves his voicemail. Good. Alligator clip doesn't seem to want to hold on to onto the stanchion for some reason. It's too covered in crap. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so I just got to get these primed, which, in all honesty, I'll probably just do after the stream. Actually, no, I can do these now, because I've got, I don't have to worry about running my airbrush to do it. I've got a Rattle Can Tamiya primer that'll work just fine for this stuff. I tend not to use Rattle Can primer for like custom paints and stuff like that of full locomotives, but for this stuff it'll work fine. Alright, there we go. Oop. Missed the spot. Perfect. Alright, so I'll set those off to the side to dry a little bit. I don't think that this is probably dry enough to file yet, is it? No. But I can get a little bit more glue in there because it looks like it's a little low. Forward mounted bells for the win, absolutely. Absolutely, Dennis. I just made that worse. I should have just left it to dry. so that's good. At least the headlight housing should be dry enough now that I can get the holes drilled for the LEDs. Let's see, do I want to use the bit that I've got in here? No, I want to use something smaller than that. Oh, that'd be cool. Dennis number 2 to see the 6-axle version of that. Okay. Whoa. Well, that's annoying. The whole lens popped off. Let's see if I can just kind of get away with drilling out holes where they approximately need to be. And I'll stick it back on after. Okay, that one's gonna work great. Go. Okay, both those holes should work fine. Just to run a couple LED wires through. Actually, you know what? I might make them a little bit bigger just to give myself a little leeway now that I've got the pilot holes drilled. Yeah, that's brutal, Chambersburg. I thankfully I'm using slightly bigger bits than you need for the handrails, but trust me, I've got a few of them that are busted from that exact practice of trying to drill handrail holes. Man. Whoa. Come on. All right, there we go. Okay, so those holes should definitely be big enough now. Now I can get this re-glued on there permanently. Just kind of leave it until I'm ready to do some painting. Just wanted to make sure that the holes were relatively well aligned before I reapplied glue. Walther's drill bits are crap. I didn't know B&M had a slug set. That's fun. Alright. Make sure I get this on there squarely. Please. Is not centered quite. Alright, I think that's as good as I'm getting. Looks like I've got a good seal. Just want to make sure I touch up. There we go. Good, good. And then of course I mess with the glue in the hole I'm trying to fill up again. Let me just redo that. Okay, I think that's going to be enough work done on this particular locomotive tonight. We've got the housing on, we've got everything gluing in. Can leave that be. We've got the horn and stanchion for the horn primed. Next step is installing the stanchion and then painting the horn fully. The horn's pretty fun on these. It's a silver horn, and then the inside of the bells is red, so I'll replicate that as best I can as well. These bits that I'm using are just straight from Harbor Freight, and they work really well. And the best part about it is I don't have to wait 5 days for a new pair to show up. I can just drive to Harbor Freight and get a new set if I'm missing a bit that's needed for a project, which is great. Okay, only other thing I really have to do tonight, which we may not be able to finish quite in time, is get the ditch lights installed for the MANN locomotive. So we'll start on that just because we've got a few minutes left before Dennis kicks off, but I don't expect to really get that done tonight. And I also have to pull up a new reference photo as well. So what is the number on it? It's 24, or nope. Yep, 2455. Fine tip marker. What am I using the fine tip marker for? Sorry, I got ADHD brain. Oh, for the inside of the bells. Yeah. Actually, I mean, I've just got some red Vallejo paint and a fine-tipped paintbrush that I usually use to do that sort of work. And it's worked out well for me in the past. I've done a couple of them like this. Okay, I need a reference photo of MANN 2455. Oh, of course. What are we doing? Of course, when you type in man, you get man 2455 has some article about an inmate on death row. Oh, that's fun and sad. All right, give me a break. Here we go. So, ditch lights on this thing are like super far out. Like way out here. So, let me get some holes drilled and we'll get that started. Flicker roulette. Actually, Reddit just came to my aid. It's where the, excuse me, where the reference photo I found came up. Actually, I do have a red fine tip Sharpie as well. So I could use that if I need to. It's not quite the right shade of red though, and I have the perfect shade of red in the Vallejo. All right, so just about right there is where we're putting our ditch lights. Both front holes should be good now. Let's see if I can get the busted up plastic out of the hole. And then I did do enough to do the rear ditch lights as well, but I've got to actually see if I can find a long hood end photo of it. Identical placement. Okay, perfect. So, as we're wrapping up here, again, just remember next week, no talking trains, no personal live stream from Dennis either. Be sure to tune in to the NMRA YouTube channel where NERX will be happening. Again, that's a completely free virtual convention put on by the Northeast region of the NMRA. You do not need to be an NMRA member to join. There are giveaways every single night, Monday through Thursday of the event. Dennis will be hosting on Monday night, so be sure to come out and support him. And then there's, of course, stuff going on Tuesday and Wednesday as well. And then I will be hosting on Thursday night. So again, really looking forward to seeing you guys there next week. And really looking forward to sharing with you guys some of the content that Dennis and I have been working really hard on in the background to get ready for this. There's multiple layout tours that him and I have been filming, him more than me, to be clear. So would really appreciate your support over there, and it might be worth your while because there are, like I said, giveaways from some pretty prominent model railroading entities going on as a part of the event. So looking forward to it for sure. But yeah, thanks guys so much for tuning in, and be sure to go ahead and tune into Dennis's stream, which is starting now, and I will see you guys in the chat of the NERX live stream next Monday night. Take care, everybody.